Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 2021 Toyota GR Yaris. Now this has 1,270 horsepower, 901 pounds-feet of torque from a 3.4 litre turbocharged inline-six engine. The vehicle itself now weighs 2,762 pounds, still has all-wheel drive, but now has off-road tyres and off-road suspension. And it can do 0 to 60 in 3.359 seconds. 0 to 105.649 seconds, and going to a top speed of 234 miles an hour. So this car doesn't actually weigh a huge amount less than what the original car did at 126 pounds less. And that's purely because the engine this has now is a lot bigger and therefore a lot heavier. It's got twice the cylinders, it's got more than twice the cubic capacity, and even though it still only has a single turbocharger, I imagine it's a much bigger one. So yeah, that all adds a lot more weight, but it does at the end of the day have more than 1,000 extra horsepower, and yeah, a good near 700 pounds-feet of torque more as well. So yeah, we're damn sight quicker than we were originally, as you can see by the stats, particularly in terms of launch and acceleration and speed. Off-road capability is fairly decent, around the 8 mark is pretty solid all around. Braking is great, handling could be a little bit better, but considering how light and small we are, this should do well. Certainly should do well, better than the Kia in the previous episode. So the fastest Toyota that we've had so far on this series has been the Liberty version of the Toyota Tacoma, although the actual fastest normal Toyota, surprisingly, has been the oldest, from 1965, the Toyota Sports 800, which a lot like this is small and lightweight, but obviously more than 40 years separate the two. So yeah, should be interesting to see what this can do, to be honest, because obviously it is a homologation version of a rally car to make the rally car, you know, fit the rules for the World Rally Championship. So does have in its DNA some rally potential, but it is at the end of the day still a road car. Only body modification we've done is giving it the rear spoiler, just to make it look the part a little bit more, and we're definitely keeping it in track mode, so we have an even split of power between the front and the rear. Don't believe a 70%, 30% split between the rear and front would be all that beneficial here. Might well make us easier to get round corners in terms of sliding it, but ooh, I don't think it would offer any better handling in general. Cracking rate of speed there. Oh dear, nearly did not able to even get it slowed down. So as we have seen plenty of times before, a car that is hectic to drive can sometimes be a properly quick car. Kia from the previous episode was easy as anything to drive, but it wasn't particularly quick, so let's hope we're at least quicker than that car. It would be nice to have this be the quickest Toyota that we've had. Standard Toyota or otherwise. One issue this could have is the fact it's got quite a short wheelbase, so therefore it could be susceptible to easily oversteering and also losing control. Especially with it having so much more power now. Won't have the immediacy of the electric power train of the Kia from the previous episode, but there's no doubt mid-range it's got a lot more acceleration on the go. Being so much lighter and so much smaller, it just makes it a lot more nimble. So obviously with it being so small and light, the brakes are a lot more effective, especially when it comes to tricky situations. fast and frantic though. There's not any real understeer considering all of that power is going through those front wheels, and even more so considering there's obviously a much larger engine up front now. Well, we're not going to be the fastest Toyota, but we are quicker than the Kia from the previous episode at 3 minutes 24.54 seconds. So we're more than a second quicker than the Kia from the previous episode, but we are more than 4 seconds down on the Sports 800, which is a surprise given how old that car is, but it was even lighter than this vehicle and evidently even more controllable. And it also means that we're slower than the Toyota Tacoma Deberti version as well, by a good more than 7 seconds, which again shows how phenomenal that that performance truck was. But still, we're also slower than the Tacoma TRD Pro from Toyota, the Hilux AT38, and we're ever so slightly behind the 4Runner TRD Pro. But we are quicker than the Land Cruiser AT37, the Tundra TRD Pro, and the FJ40, the classic one from 1979. So by no means the slowest Toyota, but we're also by no means the quickest. But we are still also quicker than the likes of a BMW M635 CSI, the Fast and Furious Flip Car, the MG MG3, Chevrolet K10 Custom, Audi RX-6 Avant, the Jeep Wrangler Sahara from the Universal Icons car pack, GMC Jimmy, the Kia EV6 from the GT from the previous episode, Hyundai Envision 74, Ford Bronco Raptor, Subaru Legacy RS, Hennessy Velociraptor 6x6, and a Ford F-150 Lightning Platinum. So quicker than some serious off-road competition there, but a little bit more middle table than I would have liked. And to be honest, even though it's quicker than the Kia from the previous episode, it's not massively faster to really, you know, be super impressed by, even though it is still more than a second quicker than that car. So yeah, but overall still a really rather fun car to drive. It's just a little bit too fast and frantic maybe to get a quick time with it in this upgraded form. Perhaps a slightly smaller engine with slightly less in the way of power would have been a lot more controllable and therefore maybe faster in terms of time. But this is certainly a really rather fun build to do on this car, quite frankly, because it's just hilariously quick. And yeah, really just a challenge to drive, and that can be fun in its own right. So yeah, but still, unfortunately, not a quick time. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.